Today, we're unpacking something that completely flips traditional finance on its head. We're looking at the emotion behind smart choices. Because as you're going to see, the real secret to building wealth isn't hiding in some complex math textbook or a fancy algorithmic formula. It's actually all about understanding the deeply emotional journey of money.
Think about this for a second. Why do some people earning, say, $50,000 a year end up retiring significantly richer than folks pulling in massive six-figure salaries? It's wild, right? It totally shatters this illusion we have that financial success is strictly about the size of your paycheck. I mean, if it were just cold hard math, the high earner would win every single time. But they don't.
And the reason is that money isn't just math. It is emotion. Personal finance is driven by human behavior, by these invisible risks, our egos, and honestly, our deep search for peace of mind. It's not just spreadsheets. To truly understand wealth, we've got to understand our own psychology first.
So, let's get right into Chapter 1, The Boy with the Computer and the Illusion of Control.
You know Bill Gates, obviously. Back in the 1960s, he just happened to attend one of the absolute only high schools in the entire country that actually had a computer. That lucky break gave him a massive head start. But here's the thing, he had a best friend, Kent Evans, who was just as brilliant and just as obsessed with computers. They dreamed of building a tech empire together. Tragically, Kent died in a mountaineering accident before graduation. It's a heartbreaking story, but it brilliantly illustrates that while Gates was undeniably a genius, invisible factors like timing and sheer luck played a massive role, just as uncontrollable risk tragically cut his best friend's potential short.
Which brings us to this incredibly powerful idea. Success is never 100% skill, failure is never 100% stupidity. Take the legendary stock trader Jesse Livermore, for example. The guy made millions, lost it all, made it back, and then was completely wiped out by the Great Depression. The takeaway here, we have to accept that luck and risk are these unpredictable forces we just have to navigate. You can make all the smart choices in the world, but you can never entirely avoid risk.
Moving on to Chapter 2, The Boxer, the Bathtub, and the Two Games of Wealth.
So, getting wealthy requires taking risks, right? Extreme optimism, bold leaps. Think of those early entrepreneurs betting the whole shebang on a startup. But staying wealthy, that is a completely different game. It requires the exact opposite. It demands avoiding risk, practicing intense humility, and having immense patience. The wild optimism that helps you build a fortune is the exact same behavior that's going to completely destroy it if you don't learn how to pivot and play defense. And wow, nothing highlights a lack of defense quite like $23 million in debt. Mike Tyson made over $400 million in his boxing career, but he bought mansions, fleets of luxury cars, exotic tigers, and literally a $2 million bathtub. By 2003, his relentless spending and failure to shift from getting wealthy to staying wealthy left him completely bankrupt with this staggering pile of debt. We see this stark contrast playing out today too. On one hand, you've got Sam Bankman-Fried, at one point worth $26 billion. But he kept playing that aggressive game. He took reckless risks, got greedy, over-leveraged, and lost absolutely everything. Then, on the other hand, you have Warren Buffett, worth well over $100 billion. Buffett thrives because he aggressively avoids crazy risks and plays the long game. The guy hates losing money way more than he loves making it.
All right, let's jump to Chapter 3, Buying Options Instead of Objects. Let's talk about the concept of the FU fund. You know, most people think of saving as this boring chore and spending as the fun part. But having even 6 months of savings isn't about buying stuff, it's about buying freedom. It gives you the ultimate luxury of controlling your own time. It means you can escape a toxic workplace, deal with a sudden rent hike, leave a bad relationship, and just walk away with zero stress. Honestly, the absolute best thing money can buy is the ability to just say no.
Okay, Chapter 4, The Legend of the Quiet Janitor.
You've got to hear this incredible true story about a guy named Ronald Reed. He was just a regular guy who worked at a gas station and later as a janitor, drove an old car, wore the same modest clothes every single day. Well, when Ronald passed away at 92 years old, the world was absolutely shocked to discover he had quietly accumulated a massive fortune, $8 million. While everyone else was out there flexing, he was just quietly building. And this perfectly captures our core lesson here. Looking rich is incredibly easy. Anyone can finance a car, wear designer clothes, or swipe credit cards to show off on social media. But being rich, that is entirely invisible. It's unspent money, it's quiet investments compounding in the background, it's absolute peace of mind.
Seriously, when you see someone rolling up in a $300,000 Ferrari, they might just be drowning in debt. True wealth is actually the money you intentionally choose not to spend.
Finally, let's look at Chapter 5, We Are Not Robots.
Financial experts love to talk about money like it's a perfectly logical math equation. But as this quote nails it, we're not robots, we're emotional creatures. Sure, if you invest X and save Y, you'll be set on paper. But when the stock market suddenly plummets by 40% in a single month, yeah, those spreadsheets aren't going to stop you from panicking, selling everything in sheer terror, and locking in your losses.
So you really have to choose between being perfectly rational and being reasonable. A rational strategy might look amazing on paper with the highest mathematical returns, but it causes sheer panic during market crashes. A reasonable strategy, on the other hand, might have slightly lower returns, but it actually lets you sleep at night. I mean, Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He avoids speculative tech or crypto because he knows that being reasonable enough to sleep comfortably always beats a perfectly rational plan that destroys your nerves.
Ignoring our emotions also leads to that classic trap: analysis paralysis. We all know that one person who does endless research, right? Trying to find the absolute mathematically perfect investment, but they never actually put a dime in the market. Meanwhile, the friend who chooses simple action, just tossing their money in a basic index fund and ignoring it, will almost always out-earn them. Taking action, even if it feels imperfect, beats perfection that just leaves you paralyzed.
Which brings us to our final ultimate question for you today. Is your financial plan built for a spreadsheet, or is it built to let you sleep in peace? Take a second to really look at your own choices. Because the true goal of wealth isn't about accumulating the biggest number on a screen. It's about building a life where you literally never have to worry about money again. So, what emotional choice are you going to make with your money today?